I want. I want to just share some daily reflections. There was a video I wanted to make yesterday, but I was way too tired. But it's all about spring cleaning. 'Tis the season. It is spring after all. And we were discussing in one of our coaching calls that we are doing these affirmations. We're working on changing people's paradigms. And if you yourself find that you want to work on yourself, you want to change habits, you want to change old paradigms, narratives, you really want to build the 2.0 version of yourself, especially we're getting into a new season, we're getting into summer. Some people want to get more, get their body ripped, whatever it is. What kind of changes do you want to make? Maybe it's financial changes. Maybe it's a career change. I shared my story about kind of changing up my career lately. And so, what do you want to get rid of? It's spring cleaning. If we want the new blessings to come, if we want the new to come in, we have to get rid of some of the old. I love a good metaphor. So if you can imagine going to a very busy shopping center and every single spot, every parking spot is taken with a car. We're not going to be able to get in unless another car pulls out. That's just like your life. There's so many blessings. There's so many amazing things that are just waiting. They're circling that parking lot, circling, waiting for you to pull out, get rid of one of the old cars that have been parked there for years, decades, that no longer serve you. It served its purpose. It served its season. Maybe that's a habit, a thought pattern, a person, something that we've been doing. So what is it that you need to get rid of? I talk a lot about having our 1 degree. What's your 1 degree? What's the thing that if you got rid of, or something that you started doing, something that you stopped doing, something that you started doing, that would really allow you to break through to the next level? Maybe there's something that you've been working towards that you kind of gave up on. And so that's why we were talking about, what are you going to let go? What can we release? It could be your 1 degree. More specifically about this inner release, about forgiveness. Are you holding a grievance? Are you holding a grudge? Is there somebody that you haven't been able to forgive? I know it's a really touchy subject. We could have been betrayed. We could have been hurt. We could have just been in a really painful situation. However, you might have heard before that forgiveness really isn't for the other person, it's for ourselves. There is kind of a prison, a hidden prison, a jail cell that we have in our subconscious mind that we hold people in. We hold the keys to that dungeon or that prison cell, and everybody that we have a grievance, unforgiveness, a grudge toward, even if we're like mildly frustrated or irritated with them, we hold them in this cell. We give it energy every time we see them, every time they flash in our mind, every time we hear their name, whatever it is, even if it's a coworker that you don't get along with. What can we release? Who can we forgive? Who can we let go? And so I was looking up words. I hope this doesn't freeze my screen too badly, but I love a good definition of a word. And so we were looking up to acquit. Say it's a court case. Who do you need to acquit? A lot of times it's yourself, different past versions of yourself. And we were looking at all the different words that, or rather, just looking in the synonyms to acquit. And one of the words that came up was to exonerate. I love that word. It's one of those words that have like weight to it. To exonerate, to clear of any accusation, free from guilt or blame. So again, who are we holding accountable? Who are we pointing fingers at? Even if we're right according to the world. What would happen what would it take for you to forgive, for you to acquit, for you to exonerate? And again, most of the time, it's ourselves. It's past versions of ourselves. So who do we need to forgive? What versions of ourself do we need to forgive? And so that was a topic that we were discussing when it comes to that inner spring cleaning, about forgiveness. I took some notes, and it was, when we don't forgive, I wrote down, we fall into this victim mentality. We fall into this victim mentality that we're not in control. Somebody in the outside or a circumstance happened to us. They did it to us, which again, on the surface level, that might have happened. However, what is it going to take to heal? What is it going to take for you to release and to forgive? It's not condoning. It's not having to be around that person ever again or talk to them ever again or have lunch with them. But when we release and we let go of that energy, we free ourselves up for the good things that we're working toward. And I find that it was true for me, but some of my clients were working on this personal development work. They're rewriting their script. They're working on their new self-image. They're writing down affirmations, and they can do all of that. But if they do not clear the space for it to really settle into their new self-image, if they're holding on to old versions of themselves or others, the new can't come in. It's like we see it in nature all the time with the seasons. The trees have to shed their old leaves and they're bare for a while, and then you know, they grow new life. So we have to prune. We have to prune away what no longer serves us so that we can make room for the new growth in our life. So let's not fall into victim mentality. Let's be the creator. Let's not let that 1 degree of grudge or grievance toward others or ourself come in and steal our joy and take our energy. What else? And when we release this mental, psychic, emotional weight, we can feel it in our physical body. It might be an actual release of physical weight that you've been carrying, the lbs or the kilos, right? It might be, and a lot of times it is. I know for me, I held on to like physical weight for a while, but when I was really able to forgive myself, it was a self-forgiveness journey for me. I was able to really catapult into a new version of myself. One of my mentors used this visual that weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, equals weight, W-A-I-T. So the more weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, that we carry, mental, physical, psychic, emotional, the longer we will have to wait, W-A-I-T, for our future. So if you feel like you're waiting around, you've been waiting around for a really long time for things to happen, maybe you need to let go of some weight. Maybe you need to let go of some psychic, energetic, emotional, relational weight. So these were some notes. These are some reflections that I wanted to share from yesterday. It was so powerful. One of my sisters here, we're coaches at the Napoleon Hill Institute, and we all work together at the Sisters Next Door, and we run 6 and 12-week coaching programs. We have elite mastermind groups that we're beginning to run. And Amy, she taught yesterday, and she had some really powerful, vulnerable stories about her journey of forgiveness and the miracles that happen. I know for me, I had to forgive myself for a lot of mistakes, unelegant choices that I made in the past. And I didn't know unconsciously I was holding myself prisoner. I was holding myself prisoner and I beat myself up. I was punishing myself. I had a rap sheet, like a scroll. And it reminded me of Ernest Henley's poem, William Ernest Henley's poem, Invictus, when he talks about, no matter how charged with punishment, the scroll. We all have these hidden scrolls, this rap sheet, this scoreboard that we keep of ourselves and other people. And it siphons our energy, our life force. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't know if you are, talking bad or thinking ill of someone else. It's only kind of taking on that negative energy. So whatever you're thinking of yourself, whatever you're thinking of yourself, negatively, and other people. Actually, I got sidetracked because there was this quote. It says, "Did you know that the subconscious mind does not know anybody else but you? It has no conception of consciousness other than your own." This person was explaining to his students that when we criticize others or find fault, our minds think that we're speaking about ourselves. That's why it's so important to become aware of the power of your words, because often our words and feelings that are directed outwardly can rebound and cause havoc in our own lives. Of course, we don't do these things consciously, we do them unconsciously. The majority of people do not realize that our thoughts and words are influencing and imprinting our own mind. So remember, every thought that you think, you impress on your subconscious mind or your body. Your thoughts that you impress are expressed. Whatever we impress it on our own body. So even when we are thinking that person's a jerk, I hate them, what a jerk, what an a-hole or whatever, we are feeding that to our system, even if it's true. It doesn't mean that, again, we're condoning or we're making it okay. Well, they're getting away with it. That's not our business. There are laws of this universe. And so, trust me, we cannot escape. We cannot escape from these laws. We're only responsible for our own mental diet and what we are thinking about. So those are just some reflections of mine. So spring cleaning, what grievances, grudges, irritations, even minor, are you holding on to? We gave an assignment for the people in our coaching program. It was a 4-step process. I said, okay, start with writing down every single person that you hold any grievance or grudge against, even mild irritation. It doesn't matter. Write it down, even including versions of yourself. So I was saying that I did. It was like 2 pages long. Even if you see people on the street, the person on the street that I always see, when I'm driving to work, or the person that always pops up in my social media feed that, we're like acquaintances, but I don't want to unfollow them, but I always deep eye roll and like judge them secretly. Right. Or, my family members or whoever we're upset with, an ex-partner, write every single name down on a piece of paper, however many pieces of paper it takes. Write all the names down, including past versions of yourself, like 25-year-old Carla, 33-year-old Carla, whatever versions that you're upset with when you might have made mistakes that you're still kind of beating yourself up for. Write everything down. Then do the Ho'oponopono prayer. There's a lot of guided meditations. It's that Hawaiian prayer. It has the 4 statements, and it says, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It can be a little bit tough because when we have these names of people, and that's, you kind of like meditate and sit there and pray with the names. So when you write a name of somebody who did you wrong, and then you sit there and you say, I'm sorry, you're like, wait, I'm sorry. Why am I sorry? However you can hold on to it. I'm sorry that I have ill feelings towards you. I'm sorry that you felt the need to do that to me. I'm sorry that you were sick and you were ignorant and you were drugged up or whatever, and you were selfish. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry that we had to go through this. I'm sorry that I beat myself up. I'm sorry that I've held you in prison for all of these years. However you can get on board with it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive me for, getting even with you in my mind, or, talking bad about you or gossiping about you or meeting you at your level, right? I judged you for what you did, but then I went right back and did the same thing back to you. So please forgive me. And then thank you. Thank you for this process. See them in front of you, receiving that apology. Thank you. Thank you for this healing. Thank you for this release, right? Thank God, thank the universe, whatever, that person if you can. And then I love you. Find a way to love them. I was telling them, I was like, sometimes I cannot find a way. I was like, I picture Jesus right next to me, like, can you love them for me? Because I can't. So however you can do that. So writing a list, do the Ho'oponopono prayer over it, then safely burn the list, the paper. And then there is a guided meditation. If you want the link to the guided meditation, it's a private link that I can send you on YouTube. It's a playlist that I share with all of my therapy clients and my coaching clients, and I'll send it to you. Just write me a message that you want to have that. It's called Calling Your Power Back. It's a guided meditation on YouTube, but it's private. So if you want the link, just message me and I'll send that to you. So we cut the cords, call your power back, and then write, what did you learn from this person, from this situation, no matter how painful it was, because it could be really, crappy, really shitty. And I think Sadhguru talked about that. He said, we can have really stinky crap happen to us in life, and no one wants to be around it, not even us. It just smells, it's terrible. Or we can reframe it and turn it into fertilizer and use it as soil, as fertile ground to build something beautiful out of. Same crap, different uses. We can just let the crap stay crap, or we can use it as a base to build something beautiful out of. I use the example of families who have lost children to, cancer or an illness, and then they start foundations and programs to help other families, or, donate to research or build a new wing on a hospital. And that's what they did, because that's a crappy, terrible situation. But they use it as fertilizer and built something beautiful. So that's the process, writing the names down, doing the prayer over it. And you can look up those free guided prayers for Ho'oponopono on YouTube. And then you can burn the list safely, do the calling your power back meditation, and then write, what did you learn from all these situations? So that is the process we did of forgiving, letting go, releasing, spring cleaning, and it was very helpful. And it's an iterative process. Even if you think you forgave someone years ago, maybe it came back to haunt you. And that's how trauma is. It's like it's an iterative process. We never really arrive. It can get easier, but I'm stirring my tea, sorry. It can get easier as we go. But trauma, healing is a circular motion. We could heal, and we go deeper, and then, oh, there it is again. Same thing, just on a deeper level. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get upset. Just forgive it at a new level and go through the process. So I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know where I'm streaming right now, hopefully somewhere, but I love this new streaming service. I can be everywhere. It's amazing. So have a wonderful